Welcome to Archive Horizon. In this video, I'm gonna talk about ASTRIS gameplay, battle mechanism, and lore story. So ASTRIS is a premium game. That means you will need to pay to play, but after that, you can enjoy the full feature of this game. And because it's a premium game, there is no gacha in this game. So if you have a PTSD over a gacha game, you can try to buy and play this game instead. The developer of ASTRIS is Hypergrip, the same developer for 𝘋𝘦𝘭𝘶𝘹𝘦, and Popcorn. And because Hypergrip, also known as a music company, because they already create many good background music for 𝘋𝘦 game, I have a high expectation that ASTRIS will also have many good background music for its game. ASTRIS is a 3D RPG game that have world exploration feature. It allows you to explore many areas in this game that have a beautiful scenery. And you can also find some useful stuff while exploring some area, such as crafting material that you can use to craft useful items to upgrade your character or skill. Also, you can even find some cooking materials that you can use to cook some food, and you can use it as a healing item or support items. And because it's a world exploration games, which means there will be some mechanism or puzzle for you to solve within each area. And you can also obtain some useful material by solving some simple puzzle. And here is the best part of this game, the game fighting mechanism. This game implemented semi-real-time turn-based battle mechanism, which means it have a half action and half turn-based mechanism when you are in a combat mode. Here I will explain about how the combat mechanism works. In order to start a battle, you can either hit the enemy or let the enemy hit you. But it is best to hit the enemy first, because when you hit the enemy first, you can deal a certain damage directly to the enemy HP while bypassing the enemy toughness. As long as the enemy still have their toughness bar, it can decrease the damage dealt by our character to the enemy. And it also doesn't matter how far the distance between each enemy. As long as you hit one of the enemy, you will need to fight all of the enemy within the same room. When in player turn, here is how the user interface looks like. This button here is the item button in case you want to use some healing items or any support item to amplify your damage or to debuff the enemy. This one in here is the action point, while this one in here, for now let's say is a skill point. In order to perform an attack action, you will require the availability of an action point and skill point. So if you run out of action point but you still have skill point, you can't perform any attack action. Or if you run out of skill point but you still have action point, you also can't perform any attack action. Using item might also cost the action point. Well, this button in here is to change your skill set. So there is two kind of skill set that you can change in the character setting when you are not in the beta state, such as web skill set and particle skill set. So before start launching your attack or combo to the enemy, you can choose which set you want to use. The number showing in here is the total combo of your attack and the total damage, while the icon in here showing what kind of attack you deal toward the enemy, either it's knock up, knock down, or smash down to the ground. And from here you can see that both of the characters already run out of skill point, but they still have the action point. In this case, you no longer can perform another attack action to the enemy. When you dealing damage to the enemy, you can also see that there is a white line that will keep decreasing if you didn't perform any attack to the enemy. That white line indicates the combo duration, so you will need to keep dealing damage to the enemy before this white line run out, in order to keep maintain and increase your combo hit. When in the enemy turn, one of your character will enter the defense stance. In this defense stance, it can decrease the damage deal from the incoming enemy attack. Also, usually, the enemy will only attack the character from this left side, that in this defense stance. While the other character is on standby mode, that you can change their position by tapping this icon. The button in here is used to parry the enemy attack or dodge the enemy attack. That is based on which character on the left side. If the character make this button showing blue color, that means the character can parry the enemy attack when you press this button in the right time. By parrying the enemy attack, you can totally deflect the enemy attack, stopping the enemy to deal multi-hit or combo hit to your character. And also, you can deal a counter attack that can deal certain damage only to the enemy toughness bar. But if when the enemy want to attack you, the enemy is showing this red circle, that means the enemy will launch a strong attack that can't be parried by your character. So you will need to change your character to the other character that will make this button turn red. That means the character is specialized on dodge the enemy attack. So the best part about character who can dodge the enemy attack is that she can dodge all of the incoming attack, but she won't deal any counter attack after she dodged the enemy attack. While for character that can parry the enemy attack, they can deflect all of the enemy attack and can deal a counter attack that can decrease the enemy toughness bar, but they can't parry all kind of attack that come from the enemy. Well, the last one here is the ultimate energy. The ultimate energy in here is collective ultimate energy, so you can only use it for one of your character. You can use it by dragging the ultimate energy to one of your character.
光华淬灭，淹没在莱拉的洪流之中。
And here is what happens if the enemy toughness bar runs out. You can gain a bonus turn even when in the enemy turn. So you can keep throwing all the skill to the enemy until the enemy had PTSD from attacking you. That is also the same things when you manage to deplete the enemy toughness bar when in player turn. That you can get a duration where you can throw out all of your character or skill to the enemy until the duration runs out. And here is the boss battle in case you want to see all of the mechanism I already explained. Boss also have their toughness bar below the HP bar.
开始。呀！
And the next one is the character in this game. Because this game is a premium game, you can obtain some new character by progressing the in-game story. Currently, there is 3 characters that are already confirmed will become a playable character for us. That is Yan, a navigator from Earth sent by Moswave organization.
攻撃こそ最大の防御。
And the second is Fi, also known as the Princess of Doran, which means she is an Alindo inhabitant that come from Doran, the lakeside country of Alindo.
合ってるかな？
While the next one is Astero, also an Alindis that come from the Sadara, the dark side country of Alindo.
世が太陽となればよい。
And also there is many more side characters such as Manganese, maybe this guy will become a mascot of this game. Detergent, he might be a professional guy when come to cleaning our clothes. And 02, she might be come from a certain legendary anime. And the last one is the game's lore story.
ナンバー P4669 ナオスウェーブ。人類が初めて発見した安全なワームホール。その先の太陽系には生命体と文明が存在する惑星がある。その名もアリンド。
So this game lore story begin with humans managed to discover a wormhole that leads to a star system that have a habitable planet named Alindo. And it turns out the Alindo inhabitants already have their own civilization. So in order to learn the Alindis civilization, the planet origins, and many mystery in this planet, the people from the Earth sharing their culture and technology to help the Alindis people will also investigate everything in this planet. And the Earth scientist Noahwave found out that even though Alindis have a same physical appearance with a human, but the way Alindis acquire knowledge is not by learning like human on Earth, but instead they only using awakening, so they just awaken and they suddenly become smart. So that is the differentiation between Alindis and human. Then, what about the main mission of Noswave scientists coming to this Alindo's planet? Before I start explaining the Noswave scientist mission, I will first introduce you about the Alindo's planet environment. So Alindo's planet have a two-sidedness. The first side is an eternal daylight side called Doran, the light side country of Alindo, while the other side had an eternal dark side called Sadara, the dark side country of Alindo. People can keep living in Sadara because they have an artificial sun in there. While there is something else that separates between both of light side and the dark side, that is called 𝘋𝘭𝘶𝘹𝘦, the eternal storm that's staying in the middle of both zones. In this 𝘋𝘋𝘶𝘹𝘦 have a very dangerous environment and also have a many dangerous monsters. But also in here have a many mystery that haven't been unveiled by the Alindis themselves. So this place is the main menu for Noswave scientists to investigate. And what they really want to investigate about this planet is the anomaly in this planet, such as Layla, the first flower that ever bloomed in Alindo, that also become the origin of life in planet Alindo. Well, how these flowers looks like is still very mysterious. Well, the next one is Astrom, a fluid substance generated by Layla. So Astrom is the second organism that generated by Layla that very abundant across Alindo. And sometimes when the Layla give them some cosmic message, the Astrom will combine with each other and transform into Astramorph. And this Astramorph is the second anomaly after Layla. The 𝘋𝘭𝘶𝘹𝘦 scientists also really want to reveal the secret about Astramorph.
アストラモーフ、他の生物の形態を再現する奇妙な存在。ドランの学者の導きでジングゼンへの侵入調査が叶い、アストラモーフの真実に近づいていたが。
And when the 𝘋𝘭𝘶𝘹𝘦 scientists about to reveal the Astramorph and Layla secret, the Alindis blame that the human already violated their prohibition laws or taboo. So the relationship between human and Alindis become heat up that make war broke out between both of them. So all the mission to investigate this Astramorph and Layla was terminated before 𝘋𝘭𝘶𝘹𝘦 scientists managed to reveal the truth. And after 19 years, the relationship between Alindis and human come back down again. Even though it's not as good as the past, but at least it's come enough for 𝘋𝘭𝘶 team to send another investigation team in order to find out the truth about the anomaly of Astramorph and Layla.
ようこそ惑星アリンドへ。
I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Cheers.